The New Year's event has been leaked. That is right, guys. We are having a New Year's event coming up very soon, and I have got the specifics about it, such as an in-game leak, leaks about files related to the event, possible items for it, and more. Alright, guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video. Hit that like button down below if you're having a good day. I love seeing that you guys are having a good day. But yes, guys, it is time to talk about the New Year's event, which is coming up very, very soon. Obviously, New Year's is just a few days away from when I'm uploading this video, but we already have a bunch of leaks about what is going to be happening, and all of that info is packed into today's video. There's a lot to talk about, so be sure to watch through all the way until the end. And we've even got a little bit of stuff about the snowstorms and how those work. So again, guys, it's going to be very fun, and if you do enjoy it, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, turn on notifications to be kept in the know with stuff like this, leaked events, how to get like the skins for free that they release. And also, if you want to help support me, be sure to use code TheLlamaSir in the item shop. I get a bit back from those purchases, and it helps support the channel, and it's easy to do. You just put it in the bottom right corner of the item shop. So yeah, but without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it right away with the stuff to do with the New Year's event, because again, we got a ton to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, with the recap of the New Year's event last year, because it's looking like this event is actually going to be similar to the one last year. So as a reminder, let's go over a video I had recorded of the event, the New Year's event for 2018, and that'll give us a better idea and make more sense of these leaks that we're going to get into after this. So yeah, guys, but during that event, it happened obviously around I think it was like New Year's Day, but it started out with the disco ball coming out of a rift from the top of the map. It was around the center of the map, but it basically came out of that rift and then started to render in where all of the squares started to show up on the sphere, and then it started to spin around, and all of a sudden it started to light up as well as a disco ball would. I believe it was actually pretty similar to the boogie bomb disco ball that shows up above your head when you get hit by a boogie bomb. But yeah, either way, once that happened, it started to lower down, as you typically see with like the New Year's ball in New York. There was also a timer in the background that counted down from 10, but yeah, it kept glowing, and then as soon as it hit the bottom, a bunch of fireworks went off around it. The fireworks are really cool. There was tons of them, and then the disco ball itself exploded into a bunch of, you know, squares, and then finally some final fireworks went up into the air. There was a llama firework and also a 2019 firework that was really cool, and then on top of that, a ton of other fireworks all around it. So overall, it was a very simple event looking back at it, and judging from these, again, leaks that we're going to go over in just a second here, it's looking like the event is going to be very similar to this one. But yeah, guys, that was a quick recap of last year's event, so let's go ahead and jump into it with the details we know so far about this year's event. And there's two main things we know, the first of which is an in-game leak that I have footage of that shows a little bit of the event early. Nothing crazy, but it's still very interesting. You may still be able to do this. I'm not sure if they fixed it, but if you had a replay and you just went into that replay, for some odd reason, the disco ball would show up early in that replay. And as you can see right here, there is the disco ball for the New Year's event. And as far as I can tell, it looks to be the same exact disco ball from last year's event. I mean, unless there's only slight differences, for the most part, it looks to be pretty much the same exact thing. However, I will say that for some reason, it has this interesting glow around the side of it. I'm not exactly sure what that's for. It's possible that they're going to redo how the disco ball enters the map. It might not enter the map as a through a rift like it did last year, but maybe something else, and this glow has to do with that. Also, it looks like it's only rendering the bottom half of the sphere for whatever reason. Unfortunately, I couldn't get above it due to the map's like invisible walls, so this is as high up as I could get in the replay mode with the camera, but you can still tell that it only looks to be the bottom half of the sphere. So very odd overall, but still, it's very, very interesting to see that this is already in the game, like ready to go for New Year's. So yeah, definitely had to go over that, but let's continue it with some leaks that were found by iFireMonkey on Twitter. These were some very good finds, but basically he found around like 20 different files in reference to this event. So let's go through some of these, and like you can tell that some of them show similarities to last year's event. Like for example, you have New Year Explosion Disco Ball, which again is exactly what happened last year. The disco ball exploded as it got to the bottom of the countdown, so it looks like that's going to be very similar as well. On top of that, there's also Disco Ball Shard, which is obviously referencing, you know, when it gets split up into all of the squares. There's a bunch of things in reference to fireworks. You have got New Year Firework in-map GPU sprites, which are obviously the sprites for the fireworks. I'm assuming those would be for the smaller fireworks that we saw around last year, but there's also a firework that just says New Year Firework in-map, which could probably be the larger firework firework, similar to the one that showed the llama from last year. Obviously, they'd have to change that up. That one said 2019. This one would have to say 2020. And you've even got NYE fireworks, which I think would be like New York, but I'm not sure what the E would stand for. No, wait, it probably means New Year's Eve. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, that definitely makes a lot more sense. New Year's Eve is probably what it means. Either way, though, there's other things as well that are interesting. You have got light pillar distance scale disco, obviously to do with the disco ball, but on top of that, there's also a bunch of ones about lights that say like New Year, like you've got New Year 1, New Year 2, New Year 3, stuff like that. Not exactly sure what all of those different lights would be for, so those might actually be part of like new things for the event, new lights and stuff like that. There's an NYE spotlight, which is definitely pretty interesting. So is there going to be a spotlight on like maybe some sort of stage? Is there going to be a spotlight on the disco ball itself? Either way, though, I'm pretty sure that was not something that was in last year's event. On top of that, you've also just got New Year M. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Not very interesting right there. But what is very interesting is there's a file called NYE Dance Stun. Not exactly sure what that is, but since it's in reference to a dance, are you going to be forced to do an emote during this event? Not exactly sure, but that would be a very logical possibility. Also, something interesting is there's the New Year timer is here, so they're going to bring back that same timer more than likely. The countdown from 10. Also, you've got more stuff like New Year light beam cheap. I'm not exactly sure why it says cheap. And then also New Year all light beams. So a lot of stuff about these light beams. There were some light beams, I guess, from the original that would show from the disco ball itself, but there definitely seems to be a lot more here. So I'm assuming they're doing new stuff with this. So yeah, guys, it's looking to be a very cool event overall. But let's then talk about when we can expect this event to happen. So basically, guys, if it's similar to last year's event, there isn't going to be like a specific time that you'll be able to see this event happen. And what I mean by that is last year, if you don't remember, the New Year's event was an event that happened every hour on, I'm pretty sure, December 31st. And the reason for that is because obviously time zones. Different time zones, you know, switch to the new year at different times. So with that being said, Epic Games had set it up to go at like every hour on December 31st, the day before the new year, which obviously makes a lot of sense. So you could like go into game maybe at 11:55, and then when it hit midnight, you would see the event, or you could do it at a different hour. So that's what I'm expecting them to do for this event as well, since that makes the most sense, and since this seems to be pretty similar to last year's event. And then after that, guys, what about free rewards? Are we going to get a free reward for this event? Well, honestly, as of right now, it's a little bit up in the air. There are some encrypted files, well, in the files right now, that could definitely relate to an item for this event, but at the same time, we didn't get a special item last year, and we've already gotten, or we're going to be able to get 3 total New Year's themed items from like winterfest. So obviously, first of all, you have the 2020 kickflip back bling, which obviously is in relation to New Year's and stuff like that. On top of that, you also have the wrap, which I'm forgetting the exact name of the wrap, but it's the one with the animation of the fireworks and stuff like that. That one is also a New Year's themed item. And then after that, you have also got the 2020 glider or something along that name. I don't think that's the exact name, but you know, obviously it's close enough. We're going to be able to get this glider from an upcoming challenge in Winterfest. So yeah, there's already 3 total items for New Year's, so I don't know if they do a special item similar to how you got a special glider for the Star Wars event by simply jumping into the event, being there for it, you got the special glider. I don't know if they do something similar to that for this event, although it would be really cool. Still unsure if that's going to be the case, but there are still some encrypted files, so who knows. But yeah, guys, let's keep it going here with the final thing I want to talk about in today's video, which is a little bit related to New Year's, a little bit related to just the winter event overall, and those are the snowstorms. So obviously you guys have probably seen the snowstorms, but do you know exactly how they work and how there's actually different types of snowstorms? That's right, guys. So yeah, again, obviously if you've played Fortnite since December 25th, you've probably seen these snowstorms around the map that cover it like crazy. They make it a bit hard to see, but it really, you know, freshens up the gameplay a little bit, creates some unique situations, which is cool. But yeah, there are actually different types of snowstorms that you can experience in game. There's 4 different types to be specific. So thanks to Spadicy1 on Twitter for finding the specifics about this in the files, but apparently the 4 stages are light event, medium event, heavy event, and extreme event. And he also says that these probably occur randomly during gameplay, but that does give us specifics of the different, you know, intensity of the snowstorms, which is really cool. That's something, you know, we had assumed. Obviously, sometimes during the storms, it's a lot easier to see than other times where you like can barely see in front of you. But now we know for sure that there are 4 different types of these snowstorms, which is really cool. But I'm curious, guys, leave your comments down below below of what you think of these snowstorms. Do you like them? Are you a fan of them? Are you not a fan of them? I'm curious to see because I've heard some people like them. I've heard some people aren't a big fan, but I want to know what you guys think. So leave a comment down below. Let's discuss it down there. And without further ado, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more update videos like this, keeping you in the know with, you know, leaked events and stuff. And you can also check out my previous videos here, such as on the left, how to get the Lieutenant Evergreen skin, and some other fun videos I'm sure you'll enjoy. But again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one.